Good afternoon. This is Flo 94.9 FM in Umuahia. We welcome you to the first installment of Your Rights, a Flo FM's human rights-based program designed to enlighten you on what you need to know about your fundamental human rights and related issues. This program is in partnership with National Human Rights Commission in Abia State, and as we progress, we hope to reach out to other state and non-state actors. Your Rights on Flo FM avails you a golden opportunity to report cases of human rights infringement and ask relevant questions. The experts will provide an answer, and we are ready to follow up on cases reported on the show and give feedback on subsequent editions. Today on the program, we have as our guest the Abia State Coordinator, National Human Rights Commission, Barrister Uche Nwokocha.
Hello, listeners.
You're welcome to the program.
Welcome to the program.
Well, for the records, my name is Weniha Jackson, your host. Now, why the partnership between National Human Rights Commission and Flo FM?
It's a very important partnership because the media is the key to information. And information, they say, is life. It's when you have information on anything at all, you are now equipped to fight. Without information, you are not equipped. And that is part of the problem. Flo FM, on its corporate responsibility to Abia State community as a whole, have undertaken to partner with National Human Rights Commission to bring human rights information, principles, knowledge, enlightenment, services to Abia State people. That is the essence of the partnership, for the people to benefit.
Okay, you said information is key.
Sure.
And that brings us to the basic foundational question.
Yes.
What are the fundamental human rights of man?
The fundamental human rights of man is very, very large. It's so large that it's not something we can talk about here.
Can we narrow it down?
Yes, we have our socio-economic rights and we have our civil and political rights. But the one that we talk often about is our civil and political rights. Our rights, civil rights, like right to life, right to the dignity of human person, right to fair hearing, right to liberty, right to freedom from discrimination, right to religious belief, right to property, right, we even have right to water, right to, free health care, we have right to education. They are too numerous. But as we go in, we keep talking about these rights because we are going to pick these rights one after the other. It's not just mentioning them. Each of them have its own branches and lineage. Because when we say right to life, you think it's just breathing in and breathing out is the right to life. Right to life includes, by expansion, right to clean water. Because if you drink unclean water, it tampers with your right to life. Right to life.
No, I didn't get that. If you drink
unclean water,
okay, unclean water,
unclean water,
water that's not potable.
Exactly, it tampers with your right to life because it will make you sick. Then right to food. If you don't feed very well, eat what the nutritionists will call balanced diet, you are bound to be sick. It's bound to affect your life. So the rights are interdependent and interconnected. An effect on one right may also damage the other right. If you have a right to health, right to life, you have right to food, you have good food, you have good drinking water, but you don't have good health services. What happens when you have an accident? What happens when you're sick? So you think you can see now all these rights are related.
Well, so what should happen, for instance, when you are sick or when you have an accident? What should happen?
Well, the natural thing to do is when somebody is sick or when somebody is had an accident is to take the person to a hospital, a well-equipped hospital.
Who takes the person to the hospital?
Any person can take the person to the hospital, but primarily, in case of sickness, is the relations of the person that know that the person is sick. If somebody had an accident, you are going along the road, you see somebody that had an accident along the road, it's your responsibility. I've been taken, one day I had an accident, somebody I didn't know took me to the orthopedic hospital. I've taken people to hospitals too, when I found them in such a situation. But when somebody is sick, I'm sitting here may not know that the person sitting next to me is sick. But the family members may know, the friends may know. The person, him or herself, may know. If the person is old enough, it is the person's responsibility actually to take him or herself to the hospital. Because when we talk about human rights, we don't forget to talk about citizens' responsibilities.
Citizens' responsibility.
Exactly, because every right has its own responsibility.
Okay, so let's go to the next one, right to dignity.
Okay.
It may sound heavy, but what is this dignity we're talking about?
That is actually the most important right, if you ask me. Right to the dignity of human person. This right to the dignity of human person is a right that says that human beings are special from the time of conception. Once a woman is pregnant and is identified that there is a fetus in the womb, the person has some right to be treated as a human being. You know, dogs, the animals we keep, even the trees we plant, people don't often remember to give them medical care. But when a mother is pregnant, it is a duty owed her by everybody around her, the government, and she herself owns herself that duty to go to the hospital, to do all she could, to eat the right kind of food, do the right kind of work, you know, take the right kind of medications, go for antenatal care. Because of what? Because of the baby in the womb. It's a special being. So that is the dignity. The dignity of one person also forbids that somebody should be tortured, that inhuman and degrading treatment. There is something that is called inhuman, degrading treatment. You don't flog a person the way you flog a horse. You don't discipline a child the same way you discipline a dog. There's a difference. And of course, it abhors torture. Torture is when pain is inflicted, usually by governmental agencies or people acting on their behalf. Pain is inflicted on people to extract information or to make them to confess to one thing or the other. But the essence of pain is that the essence of torture is that the aim is to extract information, and that is what is not correct.
I'm sure we're going to come back to that and delve really on that, because this is something that a lot of people have said happen here from law enforcement agents who would extract information from you under duress. We'll come back to that, but let's look at right to fair hearing.
Yes, it's another very important right, particularly when it comes to criminal justice. The right to fair hearing, first of all, stipulated three major things. One is that somebody is innocent until the person is proved guilty.
Please, you can say that again, because here we are saying that it's the other way around. You are guilty until proved innocent. You can say that again.
Somebody is innocent until the person is proved guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction, not just by anybody.
Can we underline that competent jurisdiction? What do you mean by that?
Competent jurisdiction is that the court is enabled by law to sit and hear that kind of matter and to pass judgment on it. That means the court has competent jurisdiction.
Yeah, you can go on now.
Now, another thing about right to fair hearing is that the person in question has the right to speak for himself or through a legal practitioner of his or her own choice.
Is one allowed to speak for himself as an accused person in
Sure.
a court of law without having a lawyer representing him?
It all depends on the court you are talking about. But we can say that primarily, yes, the person is allowed to speak for himself, but the person may be put in a disadvantage. For instance, you cannot go to if you are not a lawyer, even if you are a lawyer and you are facing certain criminal charges, you cannot go to the High Court, for instance, and start speaking for yourself. Even if particularly, then you are not a lawyer, because the prosecutor that the government has placed to actually prove the case against you is a lawyer. You not being a lawyer, you don't stand a chance. So at times it becomes mandatory that somebody is represented by a lawyer, and that is why the government provides such services for people who cannot afford it. We have legal aid services. National Human Rights Commission, on our own part, we also offer people legal services. At times we organize, And
on our own part now, you're talking about the National Human Rights Commission.
Yes, National Human Rights Commission. Again, another thing we do is that we have a partnership with NBA. At times we talk to some members of NBA. NBA now is Nigerian Bar Association, members of lawyers who we liaise with in order to offer some of our complainants legal services. We do that.
Okay, right to liberty. Liberty.
Liberty.
What's the connection between liberty and freedom here?
Well, they complement each other. Fair hearing complements liberty, because at times when somebody is not properly heard, the person may lose his or her liberty, or the person may be detained beyond what the law stipulates. The person may be detained beyond what the law stipulates, where the person is not given fair hearing. Now, fair hearing even says that you have the right to remain silent. A suspect or an accused person or a defendant has the right to remain silent.
Even when under duress, like the law enforcement agents may want to get a statement from you. Are you saying you have the right to remain silent until when?
That is what the Constitution says, until you have your legal practitioner. You may tell them why you want to remain silent. You don't just go remain silent and you are playing dumb. It means you don't appreciate their own efforts, because the law enforcement agents are there to protect us. So if you do something, if you contravene the law and the law enforcement apprehends you and they want to ask you questions, why did you do such and such a thing and you kept mute? They ask you, why are you keeping silence? And you just say, I have the constitutional right to keep silence. That is wrong. What you will tell them is, the reason why you're keeping silence, I don't want to talk to you without my lawyer. I don't want to talk to you without my father. I don't want to talk to you without my brother. Whatever I'm going to say here, I want some other person to be here to witness what I have to say. If that is your reason for keeping silence, then it behoves the law enforcement agent to now invite the person you wanted, and the person will be there while you make your statement.
Okay, you were still on liberty.
Yes. Right to liberty says that you cannot be detained unnecessarily. Of course, if you contravene the law, you'll be detained. If somebody is to be detained...
Did you say if you contravene the law, you'll be detained?
You can. I said if you contravene the law, you can be detained. It's not in all cases that you'll be detained if you contravene the law. We contravene...
Because this could be an allegation.
It may be an allegation. It may... the law is a very sensitive thing. There are certain things you do, you contravene the law unknowingly. Though they said ignorance is not an excuse. I'll give you an example. There are some places they say you will not make a U-turn. Then you get there is no sign for the U-turn. Maybe there was a sign some years back, but it is no longer there. You didn't know. You are just new in town. And then you saw the space there. It is actually constructed for a U-turn. But for some traffic reasons, the law enforcement agents have put a notice they shouldn't be doing U-turns there. You are new in town and you do a U-turn there. Should you be arrested, what should be done is that the law enforcement agent may ask you why. U-turn is not done here. You will explain to them, I didn't see any sign. I didn't do this, What happens? They tell you, okay, no, it's here. You don't do U-turn.
Okay, we'll take a break at this point. Let's take a break at this point.
It's okay.
We'll come back. Okay, you wanted to say, you just say that thing, then we can move on.
Okay, what I'm going to say, there are other offenses. When somebody complains to the police, for instance, that you've done something wrong, the police should not just come pick you and dump you in their cells. They should conduct what is known as preliminary investigation. The preliminary investigation will now link you to that offense.
Let's hold it right there. Preliminary investigation is where we're going to start from when we come back. In case you have just joined us, this is Your Rights, the maiden edition of the program Your Rights on Flo 94.9 FM in Umuahia, a program in partnership with the Abia State National Human Rights Commission. Okay, National Human Rights Commission, Abia State chapter. And we have the coordinator in Abia State here, Barrister Uche Nwokocha, as our guest. We are looking at man's fundamental human rights, bringing it down to the rights or civil rights of man, even a Nigerian, even an Abian. We'll be right back. All right, good to know that you're still there. Still Your Rights, the maiden edition on Flo 94.9 FM. Remember, we're looking at the fundamental human rights of man. We're looking at civil rights here, and we were talking about liberty with the guest here in the studio, who incidentally is the Abia State Coordinator, National Human Rights Commission, Barrister Uche Nwokocha. Yes, we're talking about liberty, and we talked about being innocent and all that. So you just continue from where we stopped.
Yes, like I said, that what the law permits is if somebody brings a complaint against an individual to the police, what the law stipulates is that the police should, or any law enforcement agent, should conduct what is called preliminary investigation to link the suspect to the alleged crime. This is very important because we found ourselves in a society where people crack very expensive jokes. I will say that the jokes are very expensive because it causes a lot of damage to the reputation of law enforcement agents. It causes a lot of damage to individual finances, and more important, it can equally take away somebody's liberty. Where somebody will just wake up one morning because he has a problem with his neighbor, picks up a pen, wrote a petition accusing the neighbor's child of armed robbery or whatever he wants to accuse, or even accusing the neighbor himself, take it to the police station without any further investigation. The police will now go to the person's home and arrest him, arrest this child, and club them. Then you see them you go and see them in the prison for doing nothing. That is why we are saying that unless the police see somebody committing a crime right before them, if a police sees you committing a crime right in front, not just the police, even citizens have the right to arrest. But when citizens arrest, they don't beat the person, they don't strip the person naked. What they're supposed to do is to take the person to the police and tell the police what the person has done wrong. And the police will not take it from there. The police can also arrest somebody that is committing a criminal offense right before them.
All right, we are gradually getting into the abuses right now. Let's behold it. Let's still through an expose on some other rights that we have. I know we can't exhaust all the rights, but let's see as many rights as we can handle. Then we'll go into the abuses and how we can report such abuses. Right to freedom of expression and association.
Yes, we have, it's a constitutional right provided by the Constitution. The right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of association. There are two different rights anyway. Expression is different from association. Expression means that you have the right to express yourself freely. It's a democratic society. But expression also does not allow you just to say anything you want to say. It doesn't allow you to speak ill of people without any kind of excuse.
Are we talking about hate speech?
Not just hate speech. We are talking about, giving false information about people. For instance, somebody comes, a gentleman is so well dressed and he speaks very well. You don't know where he is, maybe because you just want to reduce him. You will tell somebody beside you that this guy is an ex-convict. And the person will say, and tells another person, before you know it, everybody in the group will get to know that the guy is an ex-convict. And the person is stigmatized. And your aim of saying it is not that the person is an ex-convict, you just wanted to stigmatize the person. It's wrong. In short, if the person takes you up, you can go to jail for it. Then we come to the aspect of hate speech. We have a problem determining what is hate speech actually. We don't know if hate speech is telling the truth that some people don't want to hear. I get what I'm saying. There is a truth, but some people, it is true. The story is actually truth. It actually happened. But some people don't want to hear it. Is that what we call hate speech? Is hate speech, talking about a group of people just blackmailing them or saying something wrong about them so that other group of people will hate them? For instance, we are talking about Fulani herdsmen, bandits, and the rest of them. These are people that are doing something terrible in our society. Can we, because of these people, now say that every Fulani person you meet on the road is a kidnapper, is a bandit? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Please go ahead.
So you cannot, because yes, a lot of people are doing something terrible. You cannot, because of that number of people that are doing that thing, you now blacklist the entire group. I'm just giving an instance. Now the list of names have come out. It's all in the internet about about 80 people that are facing fraud charges somewhere. I don't know if it's in the US or UK. I don't know which one now. About 80 of them, and their names are Igbos. I don't know if they're Igbos, but the names sound like...
some Nigerians. So they said they are Nigerians. They said Nigerians were among them.
They said Nigerians, but the list I saw flying about, I can identify them as Igbo names anyway. Now, you cannot... Some people will now see that list and say that every Igbo man or Igbo person is a fraudster. Are you getting what I'm saying? It is wrong. You are just saying that in order to make people hate the entire Igbo race, or to hate the entire Fulani race,
okay,
or to hate the entire, it may be keke drivers. Say that all keke drivers are thieves. That means you are making people to hate all keke drivers.
This is
so
understood.
This is hate speech is something that is actually very difficult.
It's neither here nor there.
Exactly.
Okay.
But what I call hate speech, to me, it is the aim of the speech. If the speech is to provoke hatred, then I can say it is hate speech.
So that is an abuse on freedom of expression.
Yes, it's an abuse of
where responsibility comes at some point.
Exactly.
So okay, let's go to association.
Exactly.
Association.
We also have right to freedom of association. You are free to associate with whoever you want to associate. It shouldn't be compulsory. As you have freedom of association, you also have freedom to belong to a political party of your choice. So you are free to associate with whoever but there is an association that the law forbids. And that association is called cult. That you have the right to freedom of association does not mean that you have the right to belong to what the law or the law enforcement agents have identified as a cult.
So what has been identified as a cult?
There are certain, groups that the law enforcement agents have classified as cults. If you get the laws against cultism in every state, you see those groups, they are listed there. Particularly when they are operational in certain institutions. For instance, if you are in the primary school, secondary school, university, nobody expects you to belong to these groups. Because when you tell those of them in the university, they will tell you that they know a medical doctor or a lawyer that also belongs to that group. But the law says that you as a student at all levels, you as a apprentice at all levels, you as a keke rider, you are not supposed to belong to that group, because that group do things that are not beneficial to the society. They've decided that there's one they call Aye, there's one they call Black Ash, there's one they call, there's so many of them now, and they have different arms to it. They have the junior, the medium, even the ladies have their own now. We have a cult of girls too. Yes, strange as it may seem. I didn't know that until one woman brought her child to our office in Enugu, our zonal office in Enugu, and complained that the child had been raped severally by some group of boys. And we discovered that the girl wanted to be initiated into the cult. And one of the conditions for the initiation is to have sex with all the guys available.
Wow.
And at that point, she got into trouble. And such things happened.
Okay, before we talk about some more of the rights and then we go into the abuse of such rights, how rights abuse could be reported and all that, just let me quickly let you know that this is Flo 94.9 FM in Umuahia, the flow of God's own state, in the capital city of God's own state, Abia State. The program is Your Rights, and this is the maiden edition. So today we are looking at the rights, your rights, actually your fundamental rights. We have talked about a few of them. We have talked about right to life, dignity, fair hearing, liberty, freedom to associate, and freedom to express, and all these we have talked about. We'll talk some more, and I know you want to be a part of the program. So let's let you know that you can call the numbers 0808 1826 949, 0808 1826 949, and 0811 6052 949, 0811 6052 949. Don't call right away. You can also send text messages. Text messages can come to the number 0906 510 8289, 0906 510 8289. Can we just quickly wrap up on some of the rights, these rights, so that we can now look at abuse, how these rights can be abused before we start taking the calls?
Okay, the rights are so important. You cannot protect your rights effectively without being a responsible citizen.
Please, let's hear what that is. Responsible citizen.
Exactly.
Who is a responsible citizen?
A responsible citizen is a citizen that obeys the law of the country. And you cannot obey the laws without knowing what the laws are. That is part of what we'll be telling you here. With time, we'll be calling individuals to come here and explain more. Yes, you have a lot of institutions in Abia State. Everything the government does affects your right, impacts on people's rights. Some of them may be abusive, some of them may be corrective, some of them may be provisional, some of them may be promotional to promote your right. But one way or the other, they impact on your right. You need to know those things, so when they're impacting on your right negatively, you know how to protest. When they're impacting on your right, positively, you know how to enjoy it more. That is the essence of rights.
Good to know you're there. The phone lines are buzzing already. But let's quickly ask, how can one report rights abuses? And where can one actually report these rights?
There are a lot of places you can report rights abuses. But the first place to report should be National Human Rights Commission. Not just when you are sure it is a human rights abuse. Even if you know that somebody has abused you, you're not even sure whether it is human rights or not, because some people will call and ask us, do you people handle such a matter? We also give legal advice. When you come, we listen to you, we're able to advise you, this is what you do. If it is not something we can do for you, we know an institution that can do it. Then we can now forward your complaint to that institution. For instance, if your complaint is somebody embezzling your money, embezzlement of fund, instead of going to fight the person, because when we went to visit the prisons, we saw a lot of people that are facing murder charges because they use the self-help to collect money from people who are owing them or something like that. A fight will ensure. Now, if somebody is owing you, why don't you come and report to us instead of engaging the person in a fight?
Oh,
we can now direct you where you can go and make sure.
So you do some kind of counseling?
We do counseling. Now, if you're having a problem in your family, we have marriage counseling too. Like where the home is, there's a problem in the home, the husband and wife are quarreling. We can intervene, we can assist them and direct them on the right thing to do. The right thing to do if you're having a problem with your wife is not to kill her, it's not to throw her out in the middle of the night. If you no longer want the marriage or you need a breather, both of you need some space, we can advise you people on what to do. If you want to end the marriage, we advise you on where to go. You don't have to kill yourselves because you feel that your right is being abused. It's not right. Because if you go to do that, you now end up abusing another person's rights while protecting your own rights.
We'll begin to take your calls now. So if you call now, we'll take them. If you call now, we'll take your calls. The numbers one more time, 0808-1826-949 and 0811-6052-949. If something happens and I want to go to the police station to report a case, or I am invited to the police station, how can how my rights are abused? What do I do at that point? How can my rights actually be abused there?
It all depends on why you went to the police station. You see, our people, that is something I've discovered. Our people don't know the right place to go. That is the essence of this program. If it's a human rights abuse, it's not a police matter. It has nothing to do with the police.
Hello.
What you report to the police is criminal matters.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm Mr. Wokota from Obaka. Not going to specific.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Please, I've been following this talk in detail. Is police aware of all these
person that is owing you and hear the person's own side of the story? But then if it is true that the person that is owing you do not have a job, how do you really expect the person to pay you?
Okay, you can also send a text message. Send this information to the text number, the number we gave you for text, that is 0906 510 8289. If you have any complaint, send a text to that number. You can also come over to Flo 94.9 FM here, 7B Factory Road in Umuahia. We'll take more calls. The numbers are 0808-1826-949 and 0811-6052-949. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Bonaventure from MPC.
Bonaventure, you're welcome.
Thank you. What is good afternoon?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, even though that I didn't start in time, but at least I have make some point about what you are saying. I want to ask,
as a lawyer now, that is, I mean, well, you complain a problem to police, like my very self, I am under threat. When I wanted to defend a right of a teenage boy, who some people believe that he was possessed by an evil spirit and he's performing some magic. And I wanted to take the boy to a church. And the people were threatening me that they will burn down my house, they will burn me and burn down our house. I took the complaint to police. Police insisted that I must pay them before they go after those people. So, is it right that if anybody don't give police money, police cannot defend the right of that person, even when the life of that person is under threat?
I'll take it. That's your question.
Sorry. There's a way you told this story. The way you told this story is not. You didn't tell it the way the police will take it serious. You said the child was performing magic. Who are the parents of this person? Did he fall from the sky somewhere? Has he parents that are taking care of him? Why do you want to take him to a church? You see, you know something? A responsible citizen sees a child doing something that he feels is not right, should first of all talk to the parents of the child. If he talks to the parents of the child and the parents of the child thinks otherwise, the person can now talk to an institution that has the capacity authorized by law,
like the National Human Rights
Commission, to take care of such things. We have an office in Owerri.
Please
we have an office in Abia State.
Yes, give the office address here in.
We have an office here in Abia State at number 6 Chukwu Avenue. Number 6 Chukwu Avenue. Chukwu Avenue is along Ikote Ekpene Road towards Umudike College of Agriculture. There is a filling station there known as Beckwith Filling Station. Immediately after the Beckwith Filling Station, there is a turning on your right. You just follow it. The third building on your left is National Human Rights Commission office.
Are there any phone numbers?
Yes, we have a phone number. Our phone number is 0902 442 5728. I will repeat it. 0902 442 5728. You can call us. You can also visit us.
Well, if you have just joined us, the program is Your Rights on Flo 94.9 FM, a program designed to enlighten you on what you need to know about your fundamental human rights and related issues. If you have any complaints, you can also send your complaints or report abuses here on the program. And of course, yes.
Just to continue with the last caller, please, if you are still concerned about that child, leave the police alone. Call us. Let us advise on what to be done about the child. Call us.
Hello.
Let us advise on what to be done about the child.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, give us your name and where you have called from.
What? Obenna.
You're welcome.
From Umaya. Yeah. I want to ask. Somebody is a civil servant, or somebody is working in a company and is being owed for 10 months, 12 months, and it's not being paid. He cannot do anything because he's not being paid where he is working. It's not abuse of the person's human rights?
It's a serious abuse.
To you?
It's a serious abuse of the person's right. It's a serious abuse to the person's right to earnings. Your socio-economic rights is being seriously abused. You need the money to take care of yourself and your family. And you are working for that company, you are working for that government, you need to be paid for the works done. It's a serious abuse of human rights. Now, the next arm of your question is there something you can do about it?
Hello?
Yes, hello. Let's just take this one so you take both of them together. Hello.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Oh my God. Go ahead. I think we've lost that call.
Okay.
Yes, just go ahead. So what should he do?
Yes, the thing you can do, one thing you can do is you can bring a complaint to National Human Rights Commission so that we have an interface with the company or the government you are working for. And then we find out from them why they are not paying you. Because you may know why they're paying you, why they're not paying you, and you feel that you don't want to talk about it, or you feel that it's not enough for them to stop paying you. For instance, a lot of companies are in distress because of the recession in the country. They don't have work, they don't have anything again to do. And it's when they work, they generate money, and from the money they generate, they pay their staff. So if they are not working, if they are not earning money, it will become impossible for them to pay the staff. That is why I say we have to find out why they are not paying.
Hello.
Before we now talk of what to do to make them pay.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Barrister, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am at Mohawken.
I didn't get your name, please.
From Mohawken.
Oh, I just heard from my half hour, but go ahead.
Mbela.
Aha, now we got it.
My next neighbor. That's the
Your next neighbor did what?
I have. Listen, you went and speak.
Oh, this line is breaking. Can you just change your position a little bit, move away from where you're standing immediately, so that we
Hello,
can.
are you hearing me?
It's better now.
Okay. I said I had a problem with the next door neighbor at the backyard. He went and dropped the toilet beside my window. And the town union, in county, which is the local judgment, they asked her to do that thing. He refused to do that. He went to the civil defense and contacted the civil defense, went to the health in the local government. Then and saw the judgment. They asked this judgment, and I told them to do some memorandum and gave to them. Up to today, nobody has talked about that. And the women in consent have left back to Lagos. And that thing is there. And I can't live in a place where there is toilet inside my window. A pit toilet for that matter. If I open my window.
Okay, yeah, because of time.
The judgment is that the local people have judged a judgment, and I got the verdict on my hand. Even I have used that verdict. I don't want to go.
Okay, what you just hold on. What you'll do for us now, because of time, aside from going to the National Human Rights Commission to report, give us your number. You know, I'll close the mic port now. You give me your number and oh my God, just send a text message, please. Send a text message.
Number, please. This number.
No, I can't get that number right now, but you can. Hello.
Hey, I'm hearing you.
You can call the human rights number.
Our number is 0902 442 5728.
Okay, you can also send a text message to 0906 510 8289. 0906 510 8289. We'll follow it up from there. We'll take one more call, then we'll wrap it up. Hello. Yes, madam. Let's talk about. We've been talking about the abuses. We've been talking about how to report and all that. Do you have special messages that you want to pass on to the populace?
Yes, I just want to tell my people of Abia State that National Human Rights Commission is in Abia State, and that we are in Abia State for the citizens of Abia State and everybody resident in Abia State, including those who are just passing through. Human rights is a very, very important thing, and you cannot protect what you do not know. Please keep our number. Even where you are not even sure, you are just suspecting that somebody is likely to abuse your right. Call us. We'll talk to you. We'll advise you. If there's something going on in your area that you need to call our attention to, feel free to call us. If it is something we can discuss with you on the phone, we discuss with you on the phone. If it's something that we need you to come to our office and discuss with us, we'll invite you.
So why don't you just give the office address again and the phone number?
Our office, I said, is at number 6 Chukwu Avenue, Omoho, Omoahia. Chukwu Avenue is immediately on your way towards Umudike College of Agriculture, immediately after the Beckwith filling station. On your right, you move into that on Third Road. The third building on your left is National Human Rights Commission office. Our number again is 0902 442 5728. Call us. We are here for you, and we do our best to assist you.
I thought you were going to repeat that number one more time.
0902 442 5728. Again, I will repeat it. 0902 442 5728.
Well, it's been the program, the maiden edition of the program, Your Rights. Your Rights. Every Friday afternoon from 1 o'clock to 2, we'll be having this program. And you know what the program is about. It is designed, as a matter of fact, in partnership with the National Human Rights Commission in Abia State, to enlighten you on what you need to know about your fundamental human rights and other related issues. Abuses could be reported here. You could call in to report an abuse, even a suspected abuse, because our guest was talking earlier that if you suspect that your rights are going to be abused, or even someone else's right, you can do well to call in on this program to report that abuse. Also, you can send in text messages as well as visit the office of the National Human Rights Commission. We want to thank you very much, Barrister Uche Nwokocha, for coming on the program today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, callers. Please do make use of the opportunity we've given to you. Stop talking about human rights. Complain about it.
Well, this is how it's been on the program. Don't forget that our guest today has been the Abia State Coordinator, National Human Rights Commission, Barrister Uche Nwokocha. One more time, thank you for being there for us. The producer today has been Samson Eze. Special thanks to all the crew members who made this show a success today, including the Flo FM TV crew. My name is Wenihel Jackson. Let's do it again next Friday from 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you for listening.